Welcome to C.Tube, where ancient Chinese strategy meets modern life. Through timeless tales of power, wisdom, and intrigue, we decode the art of decision-making, self-awareness, and navigating the complexities of career and life. Let history be your greatest teacher. In today's story, we journey back to the Western Han Dynasty, where a brilliant reformer challenged tradition in a bid to strengthen the empire, only to find himself crushed by the very system he tried to fix. More than just a tale of rebellion and reform, this is a story about ambition, timing, and the steep price of moving too fast without enough support. Let's step into the moment and see what it reveals about boldness, balance, and the art of lasting change. Part 1. The Rise of a Bold Reformer. Cao Kuo was known for his uncompromising nature and swift execution of duties, often acting without much concern for the consequences. During the reign of Emperor Jing of Han, Cao was appointed as Neishi, an internal administrator who frequently delivered strategic reports directly to the emperor. His sharp insight into national affairs and confident delivery quickly won the emperor's favor, surpassing the trust granted to other ministers. However, this favoritism drew envy from the prime minister, Shentu Jia. Seizing upon a legal technicality, Shentu accused Cao of violating sacred law. Cao had ordered a new gate to be opened in the wall south of the ancestral temple to ease traffic flow, unaware that altering any part of the temple structure, even its outer walls, was a capital offense. Shentu submitted an official memorial demanding Cao's execution. Upon learning of this, Cao immediately sought an audience with the emperor and explained that the wall was not part of the temple proper, but stood on adjacent open ground. The next morning in court, Shentu pushed ahead with his accusation, but the emperor rejected it, defending Cao and publicly reprimanding Shentu. The disgraced minister soon fell ill and died. With his reputation untarnished and imperial favor stronger than ever, Cao Kuo was promoted to Yushi Dafu, a high-ranking censor, and was determined to carry out reforms. Part 2. A Dangerous Proposal. The Move to Weaken the Princes. Cao Kuo had a keen sense of the Han Empire's structural vulnerabilities. At the time, many semi-autonomous kingdoms were ruled by imperial relatives, granted vast lands and wealth by Emperor Gaozu after founding the Han Dynasty. These fiefdoms operated independently, with their own finances and military strength, posing a latent threat to central authority. To curb their growing power, Cao advised Emperor Jing to reduce the size of these vassal states and reclaim key territories along their borders. Knowing the sensitivity of the proposal, the emperor summoned his nobles and advisors for consultation. Most feared Cao's influence and dared not speak, except Du Ying, the emperor's uncle, who openly opposed the plan. He warned that stripping the feudal lords of their lands could provoke rebellion. Cao countered, "As long as these kingdoms exist in their current form, imperial commands will never flow smoothly, and the court will always face hidden dangers." Despite the opposition, Cao pressed forward. He even drafted a new set of laws, 30 chapters in total, aimed at reining in the powers of the princes. Unsurprisingly, the lords reacted with fury, seeing the reforms as a direct threat to their privileges. Even Cao's father journeyed to the capital to plead with his son. "Why make enemies of the emperor's kin so soon after his majesty's ascension? If these lords rebel, you'll bear the blame," he warned. But Cao stood firm. "I must act now. The princes are growing too powerful. If we delay, the emperor's rule will be in name only." Hearing this, his father sighed. "Then the empire may be secure, but our family will be doomed." Returning home, he took poison, choosing death over witnessing his family's potential downfall. Part 3. Rebellion, Betrayal, and a Bitter Realization. Though the lords had initially harbored no real intent to rebel, Cao Kuo's reforms pushed them to the brink. Among them, the states of Wu and Chu, two of the most powerful, took the lead. Claiming to purge the emperor's court of evil advisors, they raised armies and marched on the capital. Just days after his father's death, Cao's worst fears materialized. Sensing the threat, court rivals like Du Ying and Yuan Ang urged the emperor to act. This rebellion was provoked by Cao Kuo's recklessness. "Remove him," and the princes will retreat, they argued. The emperor hesitated, but eventually relented. Let it be done. Chao was summoned to court, unaware of his fate. As he dressed in ceremonial robes and prepared to enter the palace, imperial guards seized him. Without a trial, he was executed in the eastern marketplace. But the rebellion did not stop. The lords, having already mobilized their armies, pressed forward with their revolt. Hearing this, Emperor Jing asked a returning officer from the front lines, "Now that Cao Kuo is dead, have the Wu and Chu forces withdrawn?" The officer replied, "Your Majesty, the Wu king has long plotted rebellion. The reforms were only a spark. Now that Cao is gone, who else will dare to speak the truth?" Only then did the emperor realize his mistake, and by then, it was far too late. Now, let's break it down into the key takeaways you won't want to forget. In evaluating human abilities, it's helpful to distinguish between versatile talent and specialized talent. A versatile person possesses a broad range of skills across different domains, while a specialized individual excels significantly in one area but may lack strength in others. Balance is valuable, but too much balance can lead to mediocrity. As the saying goes, "Jack of all trades, master of none." On the other hand, a specialist can shine in one field, provided their weaknesses don't sabotage their strengths. Chao's strengths were undeniable: vision, courage, boldness, and the rare ability to lead change. However, his impulsive use of power, lack of tact in relationships, and disregard for strategic pacing eventually turned his strengths into liabilities. His vision of centralizing authority by reducing the power of regional lords was strategically sound in the long run, but he failed to anticipate the immediate backlash it would provoke. His actions were correct in principle but flawed in execution. What he lacked was the art of patience and diplomacy. Had he approached reform as a phased plan stabilizing relationships, isolating opposition, and breaking resistance piece by piece, he might have succeeded both in policy and self-preservation. Instead, by acting hastily and without allies, he provoked a crisis that led to his downfall. In politics, allies are not optional, they are essential. While one may not need to form factions, cultivating a circle of like-minded supporters ensures that one isn't left isolated at critical moments. Tragically, even those who agreed with him remained silent when it mattered most. His father traveled far to warn him, only to be dismissed and left in despair. Had he understood that retreat is sometimes the best way forward, the ending might have been different. Though his death did accelerate reform through brute force, the same outcome might have been achieved through diplomacy, avoiding war and social unrest. In the end, his obsession with quick success and lack of strategic foresight not only cost him his life but also brought unnecessary hardship to the nation. Ambition without deep reflection is a dangerous path. Whether in governance or business, those who seek lasting success must balance boldness with wisdom and remember that the right goal, if pursued the wrong way, can still end in ruin. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this journey into history and insight, don't forget to subscribe for more stories that reveal the wisdom behind the ages.